Okay, my good friends, once again, Roger, Mudfossil University. For years, I've been saying that inside these statues there are creatures.
Has been
And
hiding
there
something from
are.
collectors and antiquities experts since the 14th century.
1,000-year-old statue of a Buddha.
Researchers revealed its extraordinary secret, a 1,000-year-old mummy encased in a cavity. When experts at the Drenthe Museum put the rare object through a CT scan, a comprehensive three-dimensional X-ray image showed the full details of the sitting mummy. The mummy was found sitting on a bundle of cloth covered in Chinese inscriptions, revealing its identity as a Buddhist monk called Liu Quan, who may have practiced self-mummification to prepare for life after death, a known tradition in countries like Thailand, Japan, and China.
Now, I just did a thing looking at the warriors there, the Terracotta Warriors. And I didn't realize they are solid. They're not hollow. I thought they were just hollow clay, like pottery, but they are not. And I did see some features that I thought they may have creatures inside of them. And I have seen them all over the world with the creatures inside the statues. So don't tell me that they don't exist. Here, I'll show you another one. All right, this was from a Ryan Forrester video. It's called Very Strange Weathering. Well, these are ribs. That is a lung, I believe, and that is, I believe, it's another organ. But this is, when you see the full thing here, it has all of the little hieroglyphs on it and everything. It was a standing structure, a very tall statue at one time. I don't know, 30 feet tall maybe. And that is a creature, no question whatsoever. If they look at these things, they could test these things now. Nobody was able. No, everybody laughed at me and said, "Oh, you can't get DNA from this. You can't do that." Well, I guess you can absolutely. They can get it from anywhere now. They just dismissed everything. Now it scares me that they can get it from everything, but you know, at this point, I believe everything is to be revealed. These things are for you to see, and for other people as tests. That's the way I heard it. Okay, my friends, I went back and looked at this a little closer, and I will show you. I found that it's gold that's causing those flaky, shiny things. Now we're going to go through all of this stuff in a microscope. I'm just going to spend some time and get it documented once and for all. And I'm actually probably going to do a lot of these over here. Well, the shop is a mess, so don't worry about that. But I got a ton of stuff that are, you know, I have all, I got the no toes. We're going to look at that. We got the giant, that's a giant toe from a giant creature. That's a feather. That's a feather. We're going to look at all this stuff. I'm telling you, the world is nothing like you were told. Absolutely 100% different. 100% plus. All right, this was the egg that I found. This is the first thing I found. And I woke up in the morning, one morning, and I said to my wife, I said, there's something in the woods calling my name. I'm going to go see if I can find what it is. And very quickly I found this egg. And it's a dinosaur egg or some egg of something. Now, this is the only spot on the whole egg that had any bit of imperfection. You see how absolutely flawless it is? I mean, they had a little scratch here and there, but other than that, it was absolutely perfect. That is the only spot. So I just decided, well, you know, I had a real serious argument with the people that I presented this to. Anyway, so I just smashed it open. Now, here's the inside of it. Now, I want to know from an egg person, or a person that understands bird eggs, if there like is an attachment on the egg itself to the edge of the egg somewhere where the thing starts to grow, because I can see something in there. We're going to look at the microscope now, but I think this is whatever the embryonic attachment is right over in this area. It appears to me, because there is no other place that it looks like anything is equivalent to that. And why would that spot be like that? So let's take a look. All right, let's look at this. There was clearly an attachment right there, or something was different right in this area right up. No, you're not looking at it. All right. Okay, right here is that area that I said was a little bit different. Now, what we're seeing is the eggshell here, and then I believe this is that little cup area where there's an attachment, because it's clearly different. Now let's look and see. You see that area right there? Absolutely clearly different. And there's some kind of blood here. That's blood inside. And then it starts to do a couple of strange looking little things running down the edge over here. You see all that mineralization there as it comes down. Now let's back it out of here so you can see it in a little bit wider detail. But you see how it's real black over here and it's real whitey looking here. Now let's turn the lights down and see if we can see any different, because there's going to be different metals in here. You see how you get a contrast of all the different. What you're seeing here is transition metals. All right, now those have a different reflectivity depending upon what the particular metal is. And this is what is running through your body. And I'll show you a heart right now so you can get an idea, and then I will show you what transition metals are. And you'll see, you see them, all those little bits and pieces? That's what runs through your body as blood. And in this particular egg, it's whatever's going on here, I do not know. But I can tell you this is an egg. And something was going to grow out of this. What it was, I have no idea. You see all these little tiny pockmark holes? Oops. Those are like little blood vessel things. Something's starting to grow in there. But it's a very early growth. But there's things happening inside this egg. Right now, let's look at that. That has some metals in it. There are going to be some really interesting stuff. This is on the inside of the egg. It should be all the same color, right? Should be all the same consistency. It's not. I think that's gold right there. The gold really pops. I've got some that have quite a bit of gold in them, I think. I'll show you the ones that I have. But this is... you have to have these transition metals in your body, or you cannot transfer molecules and nutrition and all the other things in metal, you know, vitamins and minerals and all that. It just can't be done. They are the things that transition and leave behind products that your body uses. They go in and they swap. All right, I've shown this many, many, many times. This is the fabric of life. You see these? This is blood and keratins and collagens and all kinds of different strappy fibers that web. Your skin is made like this. Your organs are coated like this. Everything in your body that separates anything from anything else is exactly like this, in denser or less dense, conditions. However, they will be very, very easy to see. I'm going to show you. This is the egg. This is the egg. All right, this is the egg I was just showing you right here. That's the egg. All right, now, so this is not something that's... I mean, it's so obvious, it's just unbelievable. Now, I'm going to show you... I got a ton of things. Okay, watch this. That's the egg. However, where do you see this? This is the goose. All right, that's the goose. Everybody knows about the goose, I'm sure, by now, if you've been here long enough. There's a feather pattern. This has the same fabric of life as that. Watch. Let me set it up in a microscope. There it is right there. A little bit different, but not much. These are the feathers of the side of the goose's head. That was feathers at one time. You see that? This is the top of the head where the feather pattern was. Let me flatten it out. Hold on. This is like, you can actually see the grooves of the feathers there. Hold on. That was where the feathers were at the top. Let me take some light off of that. You see those were actual feathers, and that goes to the edge. That's the actual feather pattern. If I take the light completely off it, you can see that, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's what it is. What you're looking at right there is the goose's head. That's the microscope. That's the goose's head now. And now this is without any light on it. And now we're going to illuminate a little bit. But you can see these same fibers. They're in every single thing that separates everything from everything else. Simple as that. Now this is his eye. You see, that's the eyeball right there, that little round spot right there. That's his eyeball. That's right up inside of his eye. That whole thing is where his eye was. That's the eyeball right there. Isn't that something? He's got a little thing down here where his nose was. Let's see, there's a little hole for where his beak was. You know how they have a little beak hole? That's that right there. Now you could see his neck and everything if I'm not going to do it because but it's in, all of this stuff is here. It just has to be looked at now. All right, so there we saw the egg, we saw the goose. Now let me show you this toe, which is the metallized toe. How I started this the other day, just getting into this, was to I was looking into iridium. Now you see how cool this is? That's a toe. I'm not kidding you, that's a toe. And here's the blood right here. You see the blood coming out? Here, I mean, that's what happens. They have our arterial spot, and then they have a vein spot. The vein is black, the artery's red. Now, that's at the tip of the toe, or it could be a fingertip, I don't know, one or the other. But what happens is, in these wet conditions, as they soak for long periods of time, the moisture runs down the arteries. The veins cap off usually, so the veins don't do the same thing like the arteries do. Excuse me. But the arteries cap off. But they leak through. And you see all the little tiny holes and stuff all over. All that stuff was leaking out. This is gold all over the place here. This is a ton of gold on this one. You see, it's everywhere. That's all gold, I'm almost sure. Let me see if I can focus in on that a little better. Oh, you can see it. And anyway, this is a toe. Look at all that. That's all gold. You see it all around there? Now, in the back, though, is a bone. Hold on. You see the bone right here? That right there is a bone. That's what's left of it. And the rest has just metallized. Now, there's some blood all over the place here if you really look. You see all that? But this thing is saturated with gold. And that's what happened. Now here's another one. Hold on. Now that was this one here. I don't know if I showed you this. That was this one right here. And that's a toe. That's the blood. That's the blood that leaks out. And the toe would have been like that. That's where the bone is. And the gold is all over the place. Now, I got another one here. This is a toe as well. It's a different, you know, it was formed in a different way. And this has blood draining out the top. That's the red and the black in the back. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me put a little water on this. There's the red and the black. And that's the toe. And this is all the blood that ran out from the tip of the toe. Now, let's look at it down here. Alright, now, this is from the top looking down. Let me come from way up. Let's put a little light on it now. Takes a minute to, I went a real big distance out and it's tough to home in. Alright, it's not going to get much better than that. This is the toe. Alright, now, this is the tip of the toe facing to it. That's where the gold comes out and that's where the artery is. You see the hole? That's where the vein is right there. You see the hole? Should be able to see that. excuse me, no, move this over here a little bit. But that's the vein and the artery at the tip of the toe. Now they have them on the sides too. I don't know if we'll be able to see it because this was a big toe. It has a callus on here. That's the callus. That's the guy's callus. I'm not kidding you. Alright, that's the callus on the top. Now, if we go to the bottom of the toe, this is where all the blood leaked out. This is all blood, not all this grainy looking stuff here. Now, I'll bet you there's some gold in here. Let's turn the lights down and see if we can get some good, you know, I'll bet you that's gold somewhere right up in that area. Hold on. Yep, starting to glow. She's a glowing. Alright, all of those things have something that's giving them some extra energy output. Or give, you know, whatever. Anyway, I could be wrong about the whole thing. As far as the gold goes, but it sure looks like it to me. And then here's your vein again down here, and there's the artery side. See the artery red? Hold on, let me back this up. I mean, you can see it. That's the artery, and it's red. It's all the red blood leaking out around it. You see it? And if we go to the other side, there's your vein side. It's coming black. The black doesn't leak out. Now in between here, I don't know what that is. That's got a bunch of holes in it. It's probably some tendons. It might be the bone going through there. There's a lot to look at. It takes some time to really do this right. But it's a toe. You see it? The damn thing's a toe. That's something. I think that's the tendon stalk that goes down, because your toes have, and your fingers have a lot of little tendon emplacements. And that, now that is gold. I know that for a fact, because when I first had that, hold on, let me turn this down. You should be able to see that. Yeah, I see it. That was when I first had that. That was just loaded with gold. But it's been here 10 years. And I scraped that out about 20 times. But that's what it is. There's your vein, and there's your artery. That's the tip of the toe. And it just depends on what kind of conditions they're in when they become stabilized. It's as simple as that. It's really no big mystery here. It's just being able to open your eyes up wide enough to understand what you see. And to be able to deal with it. And that's the problem. Now here's another one. Did I show you that toe? Hold on. All right, this is another one. Just let's look at this here. They're all the same. Now that's a little tiny one. I don't know what that was in. But that's a toe or a fingertip or something. And again, there's all the little gold stuff. See? And this, let me see on the other side. There we go. All right, there's a good shot of a lot of blood right there. You see it? And that's something. Now, you see, let me focus in a little better. That's better. Now, that's blood. And so is that. And these little holes are all the blood vessels. And then you can see coming down, you get away from where all the red blood was. And I don't know what this is. I got to be perfectly honest with you. It could be a fingertip, could be a toe. I believe it's one or the other, and I believe that's the end of it right there. Anyway, that's that one. Now, I have a lot of really interesting stuff here. Here's one that is from a big toe from a I don't know what it was. It's not a standard foot of a normal human, but it's a big toe of something, whatever it is. I don't know. And here's the bottom of it. Look at this. How cool this is. All right, remember I showed you the callus on the other toe? There's the callus on this one right here. That whole thing is a callus. See that? And here's all the metals that ran out of this one. And I think the same thing. I think we got a lot of gold here. Well, let's see. That looks like it's pretty pure gold to me, but you know, you never can tell. That's pretty glowy. I don't know. You know, there's a lot to think about. There's a lot to learn. I don't have all the answers, my friends. Now, this is grip skin on the bottom, and it has fabric. Now, let's see if we can see the fabric. I've got some, well, you know what? I can show you easy the grip skin fabric. You might not see it here. It depends on the level of erosion. Like that might have been the grip skin. I don't know. There's a lot I don't know here that I'm just guessing at, you know. But most of the stuff, I understand the chemistry of blood and all that, and the metals and the minerals. I'm not guessing at that. You know, but I got to pull some stuff out of the air. But now, here's on the other side. Here's the toenail side. Look at this. See it? Well, those little holes are blood vessel holes. And this is the callus. That's where the callus is right there. And it runs right around the side. And this at the end here is where they bump up to the other bone. There'll be some blood vessels right there. I find it all quite fascinating, my friends. Look at all those metals and minerals and things that are there. How cool is that? And that was this one. That's this one right here. That's a toe. And that is the callus of the toe right there. Isn't that something? I don't know what it was on, and I believe this stuck to the other thing, and that was the outside edge and created the callus. It's hard to understand this stuff, to be perfectly honest with you, without really spending some time. And I have done exactly that. Now, I guess we're just going to keep going. All right, I decided I better show you the grip skin and show you what normally this is what grip skin looks like. It has this kind of stuff embedded in it. And you're going to see there's real long fibers. They look just exactly like that. And that is in the dense, tough stuff of your fingertips and your feet and your toes and so forth. Now, is it in other places exactly like this? I'm not 100% sure. I've looked at oops. I've looked at a lot of stuff, and this is pleura, which is like on lungs and stuff, and it's similar. Let's see. I have blood. We got blood. We got all kinds of stuff. Yeah. There's blood gushing out of these things. And these are what they call rocks. They're not rocks. There's blood coming out all over the place. Now, and that pleura, let's see. Well, here's some more. This is, well, I don't know if this is grip skin. I think this is lung. Yeah, see, like, now you see this here? That's from the lung. I have a lung here. I have a lung here that's been DNA tested. And I think this is it, right? But it's not exactly the same grip skin. Oh, look, this is what they call pleura. And I have the lung, hold on. I'll get it and then we'll look at it in the microscope and make a comparison between that and the grip skin. I don't think it's the same. All right, this is a pretty good demonstration of grip skin. That is the blood that flows out of the arterial side of a fingertip in this particular condition. Now, we can see we got the little blood vessels, we've got some blood and so forth. And now we're going to see the grip skin. This fiber tissue, see this here? Let me turn the light down a little bit. You see that fiber? That's what's called grip skin. And it's tough. It is tough. And it's in your skin of your fingers and your toes. Friction skin, they call it, I guess, is what the technical, I call it grip skin. But it's these fibrous things. You see them? There's a good shot right there with us. You see them all overlapping, look at those fibers. That's what gives your fingers really, really grippy toughness. You see that? That's the grip skin. All right, now this is the densest you get, is in the pleura of the lung. Now this has been a DNA certified human lung, which is a mud fossil. It's about our size. I'll show you this. I'll show you all of these in a little bit of a demonstration of the different things that I'm going to go through rather than show you one at a time. But this is as close as I can come to grip skin, and that is not the same as grip skin. Grip skin has a very defined, really, for me, I can understand what grip skin is. And grip skin is, whoops, going the wrong mouse. Where is it? Grip skin's up here somewhere. Right there. That's the best shot right there. That's what grip skin looks like. See, there's blood and all the different stuff in these. I got so much of this stuff, and I understand it quite well now. And it's all over long. That's that Pleura looking stuff. And they turn into crystal too. Well, here's one right here. Look at this. This one here turned into crystal. And I have a guy that's got a head, a complete head. It turned into crystal. You see this? This turned into just complete crystal. And this is a heart. And everything down inside has turned into crystal. It's been scratched all over the place. That was cut at one time and polished. About 10 years ago. This is the outside of it. You see? Now this other guy's got a head. And his head has, like this has some blood here and there in it. You can find if you look around careful. There's little spots here and there of blood. But his head is absolutely phenomenal. And he says, I haven't seen it in great detail yet, but he says it's like 3 times the size of a normal head. And not only that, it's got a piece of rebar sticking right through it. And the rebar is 3 times bigger than the rebar they use now. He says it's like 3 inches. I want to see it in much more detail, but all in good time. But this can happen. This can happen to, it depends on the conditions. Look here. Here's some over here. Look at this one. See it? This is what can happen to them. Depends on where they are. If they're in salty conditions, acids, what transition metals invading them. There's a lot to consider. A hell of a lot. So, we got our work cut out for us, mes amis.